Are you afraid of never getting out of debt? Because I for sure was. I thought there's no way that I'm ever going to get out of debt. We keep on adding to it. And I remember feeling that helpless, just hopeless feeling. Like it's never going to end. And it's such a negative place to be because there is a way out. I did it. I got out of debt and then I built a decent chunk of wealth. And I did it fairly fast, way faster than I ever thought was possible. And I remember Dave Ramsey was a big part of that. You know, I came across the Money Mindset or whatever his book is. I can't even remember what the name of it is. But I found Dave Ramsey, and obviously the looking at your finances, looking at your budget, figuring out how much you're spending, how much you're making, and then just getting that to where it's like, hey, you take your extra money and you don't spend any of it on like satisfaction or pleasure, you know, like you don't eat out, you just cut back as much as possible to the point where it's kind of extreme. And all that extra money that you're saving, you put towards your debt, and you list out all your debts, and you got basically your lowest balance, and you want to tackle that. You want to tackle that debt. I mean, it could be so small. It could be like a $500 debt. And if that's like your lowest debt balance, you just write it in order, 500, then your next one's like 1,000, then your next one, and so on and so forth. Usually your student loans are like the biggest debt, so that's like the last debt you pay off. At least for me, that's what it was for me. And anyways, we listed out all of our debts. I think we had like 10 debts or something, and it was massive. It was like overwhelming. You're looking at it, you're like, we're never gonna get out, that helpless, hopeless feeling. And once you pay off the first one, because everybody can figure out how to save like a couple $100, you know, despite needing to make more money, you can save a couple $100 just not spending it on whatever it is you're spending it on. And that's a low budget type of deal right there. Most people can find actually a lot more, but let's just start low, assuming that the viewers, whoever's watching this, is in a situation where they don't make a lot of money, they got a decent chunk of debt, they're in that helpless, hopeless feeling. And I just want to share some things that help me that hopefully will help you. So you save a little bit of money, maybe it's like $200. You figure out how to make $200 extra or save $200, then you put it towards that debt, and then just in like a few months you have that one paid off. Well, now there's no payment going to that debt, and now you can take that few $100s and you can start putting it towards the next debt. And all the while you're trying to make a little bit extra money or cut back more if possible. You might be at your limit, you know, that might be as much as you can do. But even just doing something like that, like in this example, $300 extra on that second debt, you know, say you're already paying $100 or $50. Well, now you're taking that $300 that you were paying on that other first debt, now you're paying it on that one, on your second debt, so now you're paying $350. Well, $350, I mean, if it was $1,000 debt, I mean, it would only take 3 more months to pay that one off. So in 6 months, you already have 2 debts paid off. Now you see your trajectory. You see where you're going. Because now you have $350, assuming you make no more extra money, you have $350 that goes into your next debt. And what you want to also do is you want to try to make a little bit more. Obviously, you know, after 6 months, you might get a raise at your job. You might be able to, you know, maybe there's another thing that you don't need to buy that you could cut back. You just have to be very mindful and deliberate with your money. Sticking to the budget, making it matter, because what's going to happen is if you aren't able to do this, it's really just going to come down to you not doing it. I mean, if you look around at everybody, it's really just their habits, their decisions, because this is simple. I mean, it's hard, but it's simple. It's a simple formula. You just have to follow it. I mean, it's just like exercising. It's simple. Exercise, you know, it's just, can you do it? And that's where the discipline comes in hand. That's where, you know, maybe you do need a coach. Maybe you do need to follow, you know, people on Instagram or whatever media platforms. That way you can hold yourself accountable and stick to the plan. Build that discipline. That way you can continue going down this route. you know, once you pay off a few debts, like, you know, in my situation, we paid off a few. Yeah, we had to go back into debt for a minute, but then we got back, you know, paid that one back off. So then it was like, you know, neutral for a few months. So 7 months in, and we were still like 3 debts paid up. So, you know, then we were like on our car. And it was just so exciting, because then we actually looked at a consolidation loan and then consolidated most of our debt, and then just started making a payment towards that. So we actually ended up consolidating debt, saving like a couple $100 a month just on the consolidation and the new rate. So then we were compiling that $200 savings from that, plus the, you know, $350 that we're paying on extra on our debt. Now you can see how that snowball starts to get bigger and bigger. So then we were on our car, and I think we had like $550 going extra on the car. That only took like a few months. Now we don't have a $300 car payment, so now we're at like $850 or somewhere around there. And then now we're getting into like a student loan, like whoever's got the smallest student loan, or maybe it's another debt that's just a large debt, like a $20,000 debt or something like that. But think about it, you're paying, you know, $850 extra on whatever your payment already is. Maybe your payment on a larger debt might be like $200. So now you're paying $1,000 down on that debt. You see how it starts to just get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's actually now the helplessness is starting to go away. You know, you start to see, wow, we've paid off 5 debts. We're paying $1,000 on this debt. You start to get excited. You realize that you can actually, you know, maybe by then it's, you know, you're already a year in, so now it's like, now you're getting another raise, you know, so you're easily paying $1,000 down on a debt. Maybe it's $20,000, and yeah, that might take, you know, a whole year to pay off, you know, but you just keep going, you know, keep going and keep going. You're 2 years in, and now you're down to like your last debt, your student loan debt, the biggest one. You know, on average, they're like, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50 grand. But you are 2 years into your career also. So you're trying to build up a career and make more money. You're going to get a raise in that time. And that raise could be significant, especially if you're starting off at a really low income level. If you get your income level up, maybe it's a couple $1,000s extra a month. All that extra money, don't go and get and upgrade the lifestyle as soon as you get a raise. That's the problem. That's what people do, and that's where they hurt themselves. Take that extra money, compile it with the money that you were paying down on the debt. Now you're at $3,000 a month extra, and see, that's when you actually, towards the end, that's when you get out of debt. That's how you actually get out of student loan debt. You know, say you owe $36,000 on a student loan, you're paying $3,000 a month. It's going to be paid off in 1 year. And then you're debt free. That's how you do it. It's going to be all in your mind. You're going to have discipline. It's going to be a mindset change. It's going to be, you're going to have to care so much about it. Do you want to live the rest of your life miserable, in debt and in stress? Because debt is the number one reason why people don't build wealth in America. Once you get out of debt, then you can start focusing on building wealth. And that is another topic for another day, and I'd be happy to make another video on that. So 2024, even now, you don't have to wait till 2024. We still got 2-3 weeks left in this month. Start now. Don't wait till 3 weeks like, oh, I'm just going to live it out. Start right now. Start being deliberate with your money. Start building that muscle of discipline, because that's what it is. It's going to be a mindset thing. That's what allows people to build wealth. You know, get out of debt, start building wealth. Once you have a decent amount of wealth, then you can start giving back to the community. You can start helping out family. You can start helping out, you know, people in need. And that's going to resonate deeper on a deeper level with your purpose, your meaning in life. And then you could be, you know, sharing your story, influencing people to get out of debt. Don't be in debt. Get out, build wealth, and let's do this.